Today's horoscope, Capricorn April 19th, 2025. Discover your future with my daily horoscope for you about love, work, health, money and compatibility with other signs. The moon moves into your sign today, animating your emotions and stirring a desire to start fresh on a feeling level. Also today, Mars moves into your intimacy and sharing sector, where it will transit until June 17th. Mars was in this same sector in November and December but turned retrograde and moved back into your partnership sector. You may now be revisiting projects and plans you started then. Your intimate life is likely to heat up during this cycle. You are less inclined to go after what you want directly, preferring a subtle approach. Watch for arguments with a partner over money and power when Mars is under strain in this sector. Otherwise, use this time to explore your hidden desires. This transit encourages an inward focus, positioning you well to observe and strategize your next moves. While the planetary post-shadows often bring some headaches, the cosmic energy over the coming days will let you turn your attention to sensual pleasure. As mighty Mars, the red planet of sex, passion, and drive now orbiting in your solar house, turns a corner, he'll link ideally in a trine with magical Neptune across the sky. This link is often one that can predict a soulmate connection could be right around the corner, so if you're single, make sure you're not stuck at work all day so you can set up a date with someone who intrigues your mind, body, and soul. If committed, nuzzle up naked in bed with your one and only. You are in the driver's seat. It will feel so good to be back in a position of power and control after Mars re-enters Leo. You may not have felt this way since the end of 2024. Winter could have knocked you off your A game, which may have deterred you from leveling at work or with your finances. Since this period has been challenging, you will be more than ready to feel like you are in control again. You may have some financial constraints, but this can be solved during the post-shadow period over the next few weeks. With today's planetary positions, you will have no trouble focusing on your body and its various needs. A very alive feeling in your body must be celebrated and given very close attention. A workout, a healthy balanced diet and plenty of water are all things you must lavish upon yourself. In fact, today's aspect can have a way of making things difficult if the right thing is ignored due to laziness or indifference. Wake up with your body. Compassion for someone who is hurting can sidetrack you on this day. It can be almost impossible to ignore the empathy that comes with this vibration. Go with this. Rather than becoming frustrated or annoyed, stop what you are doing and give the nurturing and support that you sense is needed. Try to remember that the work will wait. More often than not, people won't. Even if all you can afford in the way of time is a moment to give a hug, do it. This might be all that is needed. Over 7 months after returning for what is normally a 6-week visit to your relationship sector and having left in the new year, only to return, Mars again today, and this time, he won't be back until later next year. With Jupiter less than 7 weeks away from returning to begin your most important year for all your relationships in over a decade, this leaves you with everything needed to prepare for the next stage in the journey. Meanwhile, having retrograde back out in the new year, Mars returns to your financial sector for a do-over and a second chance to fire up your financial passions and fighting spirit. Over 7 months after returning for what is normally a 6-week visit to your relationship sector, Mars not only leaves today but for the second time since he returned in September 2025. This time the planet of passion and the warrior planet of the cosmos won't be making a U-turn and coming back for a do-over, as well as leaving you with everything needed to keep fighting for what you want from your relationships. The communication gods will take it from here. Daily Planetary Overview. As Mars re-enters bold, expressive Leo, we officially begin the second half of the post-shadow period following Mars retrograde, a cycle that spanned from December 2024 into early January 2025. Think of this time as a cosmic checkpoint, where you're gently nudged to look back over the ground you've covered in the last few months. What challenges tested your resilience? What decisions sparked regret or growth? Which passions did you put on pause, and which ones are asking to be revived? Mars in Leo brings fire, flair, and a renewed sense of self-confidence, but only if you're willing to do the inner work. It's not about pretending everything's fine or forcing a comeback. Instead, this is your opportunity to reflect on what that retrograde revealed about your impulses, your desires, your confrontations, and your courage. There may still be loose ends to tie up, conflicts to resolve, actions to finish, or dreams to reignite, but the energy is shifting in your favor. Think back to a time recently when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you felt blocked, misunderstood, or like your energy was just out of sync. Mars retrograde can often feel like swimming upstream. Now, as Mars strides confidently into Leo, it's as though you've reached a calmer stretch of the river. You're invited to flow again, but this time with awareness, wisdom, and maybe a little more grace. This transit is also a chance to reinvigorate your relationships. Whether romantic, platonic, or professional, your genuine warmth and openness are magnetic right now. You may find that people are naturally drawn to you, eager to spend time or engage in deeper conversations. If you felt disconnected from someone you care about, this is a perfect time to reconnect, not with pressure, but with presence. On a romantic level, the energy is ripe for intimacy and shared joy. Couples may find themselves rediscovering each other, and singles might notice sparks flying in unexpected places. Try planning something simple yet heartfelt, like a spontaneous evening walk or a meal shared without distractions. Sometimes the most meaningful moments aren't planned but lived with intention. You may also find yourself questioning your direction or feeling a little uninspired in your personal life. If your routines feel stale and your relationships slightly muted, this is the cosmos gently prompting you to shake things up. Organize an outing, reconnect with old friends, or try something completely out of the ordinary. Paint, dance, hike, or volunteer. Re-engaging with life in new ways can spark the kind of energy that's been missing. Financially, the stars are aligned in your favor. If you've been considering making a move, whether it's a new investment, a side hustle, or simply reviewing your budget, this is a favorable time to act. Trust your instincts, but don't rush. Look for deals, stay organized, and make decisions based on long-term value, not fleeting temptation. That purchase you're eyeing, ask yourself, will this still bring me joy or benefit in a month? Clarity and confidence will guide you toward the right choices. On the physical front, now is the time to reconnect with your body. If you've let movement slip through the cracks lately, maybe in favor of long workdays or cozy nights, and don't beat yourself up. Instead, use this Mars-fueled momentum to ease back into physical activity in a way that feels enjoyable. You don't have to become a marathon runner overnight. Even short, invigorating walks, stretching with the morning sun, or trying a new fitness class can do wonders for your energy and mood. Remember, movement is not punishment, it's a celebration of what your body can do. And lastly, be mindful not to overextend yourself. With all this forward momentum, it might be tempting to say yes to everything. But taking on too much can quickly deplete the very energy you're trying to harness. You don't need to prove your worth through productivity. Your value is inherent. Rest when you need to. Say no when necessary. Boundaries, after all, are a form of self-respect. So as Mars charges ahead in fiery Leo, let this be your reminder: you are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to outgrow old patterns. You are allowed to want more for yourself, your relationships, your work, and your joy. Take a moment and ask yourself, what lesson did Mars retrograde leave you with? Is there a part of your life that's asking for more honesty, more bravery, more love? Let me know in the comments what this period has brought up for you. Have you had any realizations? Is there something you're ready to release or ready to begin again? Your experience could inspire someone else who's navigating a similar path. Whatever you're facing, remember, this is your time to rise, to reflect, and to move forward with renewed purpose. One thoughtful step at a time.